back. This is the Lourdes and Chris show.
This brilliant woman to my left right here, amazing in every way, shape, and form. Honestly, wow. You guys don't know. She's just, every day I wake up and I go, wow, that's my wife. And I'm like, pinching myself, right? Yeah, it's legit. That's how amazing she is. And I'm more excited than a flea circus at a dog pound.
That would be exciting, I guess, for them.
Yeah.
I can just see them with the little weights and they're flying around and doing, all sorts of
little
flips.
trapeze are like,
yeah.
What? Are we at a dog pound? What?
And this is my husband, Chris, who is an extraordinary man who has been, I say, the pillar of everything I've been doing, because he's just guided me, I think, and I don't think he gives himself enough credit to what he does. I mean, he's really been an extraordinary man in my life that has made my life extraordinary, amazing.
Well, it's amazing because we're both in partners. So I'm excited. I'm going to get to why I'm excited tonight, but let's first thank Dr. Newsom.
Yes, Dr. Newsom, who is an extraordinary man. We got a lot of extraordinary stuff going on right now. And I think it's because
using extraordinary.
I don't know. Can you, with somebody that extraordinary?
I mean, it makes sense because it's extraordinary circumstances that call us as men extraordinary.
Yes, I mean, like his products.
Yeah.
There's not one on his site that we don't like.
Right.
We literally love all of them.
No, we're legitimately flirting with the idea of just kind of talking about his products, because every one of them has got a backstory to it. Every one of them has the reason why he created it was to assist a specific
element. Someone was
a
dealing
patient
with.
of his. Yeah, a specific patient of his.
So he kind of formulated, well, okay, this didn't work until he got the right thing that worked for them. Yeah. And then he was able to do it for everyone else.
A lot of his products, he could have cut corners and add some sort of a filler or something like that. But he just, his integrity is so strong that he just refused to go that route. So,
well, and not just that, I think it's because he has so much empathy and care for so many people like that. He's in the right, I mean, he's in the right profession. He's an amazing doctor who has helped so many people turn their health around.
Easily one of the smartest guys we know.
Oh, yeah. And his recipes.
Oh, yeah. Forget about it.
So it's like, we love his Inflamagon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I mean, seriously, when we look at the Inflamagon, which we'll show you in the next break, but it's,
no, versus, well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Inflamagon, we can show it right there, right?
Well, we can anywhere.
Inflamagon.
Yeah. Between us.
Inflamagon.
Anyways, we like it because it does exactly what it says in the title. Inflame gone. So
inflammation gone.
And a lot of our friends have given us feedback that they absolutely love that product as well.
Everyone who we've had that had like joint pains or inflammation of some sort, or have an illness that creates inflammation on a constant basis, have come back to us and tell us they buy it faithfully because it works so well.
Yeah. So we love Dr. Newsom. If you wanted to find his products, just go to drnewsom.com or newsomsnaturals.com. There we'll have them. So drnewsom.com
and newsomnatural.com.
Yeah.
And then to get a 15% off, you want to do what?
You want to use promo code Lourdes and Chris at checkout for 15% off your order. And so really you want to check out his products. You want to check him out. He's look into him too. He's just follow him. He's an amazing guy.
Go to his site. There's so much great information. I mean, he's even got a great book that we truly love.
I tell people that my doctor can beat up your doctor, and I mean it.
That's right.
That's right.
We definitely do.
We also want to take a moment to thank all of you that have joined us on the LourdesandChrisShow.com, especially those of you that have donated. We appreciate you. We see you. We do thank you personally, but we want to thank you as many times as we possibly can, because you really are helping us to make a difference in the world when it comes to the conversation surrounding health, when it comes to mind, body, and spirit.
Yes. And, because it helps us to continue the show, to continue to give people information. And outside of the show, we do help people on a daily basis. And that is no joke. It is
it's almost like we planned the segue, but that's kind of what we're doing tonight. Actually, we do have an event coming up pretty soon here. So so
for anyone who is in the area or would like to go out to the area, which is going to be in Tinley Park, Illinois, and that is on October 16th, we will be keynote speakers, and it'll be at promptly 11 a.m.
on that Sunday.
On that Sunday, and it's at the was it Tinley Park Center?
Tinley Park Convention Center.
Convention Center.
Yeah, we'll add that link down in the bio so that you can see it and click on it and get your tickets. You're going to want to go there, because if you just look at the lineup, I I'm excited on a personal level because I'm going to meet a lot of people who I personally follow.
Yeah.
And I personally am like, oh my God,
Well, in fact,
they're like my Mick Jagger. I'm like, ooh,
yeah, and not just that. I mean, not just a lot of our friends, but there are some like that one scientist, Dr. Is it T. Campbell?
mhm.
Anyway, and so many others. But I'm impressed with him just alone because one of his books
Mm.
that I read when I was fighting cancer
Oh,
12 years
that's
ago.
right. That's right. You were excited to meet him. You
Yes,
should bring the book with us.
I know.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
maybe he'll sign it.
That's what one
Yes.
can hope. So,
So-
so we're excited to be a part of that. But our specific conversation that we're going to be having with people, and by the way, we love live events. There's such an energy to doing a live event. It's one of
Yes.
I know for me personally, it's I'd say my favorite part of what we do.
Well, because we get to be literally right in front of everyone.
That's right.
You know, you got like all these hundreds and sometimes thousands for us people right there presently. I mean, we're not talking like the millions that are watching around the world when we're there speaking, but we're talking
In person.
when you're in person and you get that feedback, and they're just great folks out there, and I can't wait to meet the rest.
Yes.
They're gonna come
So
in
so
with-
we're actually going to be talking about option C in the world of medical tyranny.
yes.
And that's kind of what we're going to get into tonight. So
Yes.
let me get set up here.
Yeah.
And then we'll get right into it.
And I feel a little short because I'm not in my usual chair.
Get that go up.
There we go.
Hey,
I'm not as short anymore. Sorry, guys, but it just felt weird to be like,
it's good that you fixed it.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing about medical tyranny is that a lot of people have been kind of talking about it lately. It's a hot topic. Oh, it's like a hot button for them.
it is. Well, I mean, we've always seen it happening since 2010.
Well, the thing that you have to understand about medical tyranny, and I think everybody has to appreciate this, it's like looking at an iceberg. You know, what you see on the very surface, that's kind of the obvious. When it comes to the stuff that they've been propagating for us to get in line to get, and has been proven since to not be as effective and really not.
Yeah. Well, just in general, like when you think of something that they say, I have this issue going on. Now, they don't go into investigating like they used to
Mhm.
over 100 years ago before anything else got messed with. That's what doctors did. They would take a list and they took the time with you. Now it's like quick, in and out, and they just kind of follow whatever they're told. But there was a time where doctors actually really were doctors,
Well,
where they took the time to learn why it happened, what's your diet. I mean, they kind of investigate it so they can then pinpoint the cause.
right. And then and we've talked about this before on the show, but that happened right around the time when medicine became a for-profit industry. But
Yes.
what I'm talking about is medical tyranny being a hot topic now because of all the current environment.
Yes.
You hear it a lot more. People that wouldn't
Oh,
have
yeah.
said medical tyranny, a couple short years ago, now it's like medical tyranny, and they get what it is.
Yeah.
What we're trying to say is it was always
It was
there.
always there.
Yeah.
Well, it was always there from the moment that things got shifted and was no longer, herbs weren't used anymore. Natural I mean, doctors at the time did natural remedies,
Mhm.
and they weren't called chiropractors.
Right.
It wasn't called
Naturopath.
yeah,
Or,
none of that. It wasn't even called because now what would they call conventional? That used to be conventional.
Right.
So kind of got pushed out of the way when someone stepped in. That being said, we've seen it since then. It's just that most people, even we were one of them.
Mhm.
There was a time we didn't know that medical tyranny was even occurring.
Well, the thing that you have to think about medical tyranny is, I mean, when you hear tyranny, you think of an overreaching, heavy-handed. Medical tyranny has often, until recently, been real subtle and like almost like a spy network. It starts with early indoctrination. Like they start when they're young, and they teach you specific things like your doctor knows best. Listen to your doctor exclusively. Don't question anything. Just take this pill because your doctor said to do so. And the thing of it is that's where we got our option A, B, and C from.
Yeah.
It's just a real quick recap. We say it almost all the time, but option A is obviously listening to doctors and doing exactly what they say. Another word for option A is medical tyranny.
Yep. And option B is just people don't do anything at all. They don't change their lifestyle. They don't change anything other than this is how it is, and that's how I'm going to go.
Yep, God wants this.
Yeah. And they don't realize it's their actions and what they're doing in their lifestyle.
Right. And then option C people are obviously, option C is another way to say option C is it's the antithesis of what of medical tyranny. It's taking responsibility for your own health and doing your own research and listen to your doctor. Sure, we always advise that,
Well,
but
this
listen
is
to it with a filter of, let me check that out and see if that's
right.
right.
Well, this is how I see doctors, what they call conventional doctors,
Sure.
conventional doctors now. I see them as, if I can't figure something out, if I can't figure out what is going on with my body, because I always try to listen to my body. But let's say somehow something happened, I'm like, what is this?
hmm
Then I'll go to the doctor, not for him to give me a pill, because the pill is never going to fix it.
You said something really, really amazing the other day. I don't know if you remember what it was.
What was it?
People are never sick because they lack
Oh, that's right. People are never sick because they're lacking some
pharmaceuticals.
pharmaceutical prescription drug. People are sick because something was lacking in their diet or in their lifestyle, of their health,
hmm
that caused them to get sick.
Right.
Right.
Yep. That made them not whole and complete. So it's not like you ever went to a doctor for any sort of situation, and this is true for anybody, and went, Doc, I got this problem, and this problem is XYZ. And the doc goes, ooh, that's because you weren't taking enough pharmaceutical medicine. That has
It's
never
never been the case.
Yep.
So when I see a doctor, I go there so he can say, you have blah, 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 or most of the time they're like, well, everything looks good. I don't know. So then I start looking at my diet,
Sure.
but I only went there so that whatever they state I have,
Mhm.
then I go back and go, what helps my body? Because the body is what cures itself, right?
Right.
The body is made and built to heal itself. And the only time it's not doing it is because something's in the middle of that cell or tissue or whatever, blocking whatever's trying to heal. And so no matter what you're putting in it, it's not working. So I find out, okay, I have this. This is what I got to do. I look it up, go, oh, this is great. If it's bones, celery is good for bones,
So-
or blood pressure. I don't have any of those issues. I'm just saying, for instance, or if
Yeah.
you have stomach issues, you go, oh, well, but then you want to clean. So I cleanse the stuff out while simultaneously replacing it with things that my body needs.
Right. So that's what option C comes down to. And Lourdes is kind of she's just long forming it. But really what it comes down to is, once you learn that there's something wrong physically, figure it out. I mean,
Figure it out.
Yeah, look into it, figure out what's going to work for you. That's the reason why we partner with Dr. Newsom, because he has the same philosophy. When you go to see Dr. Newsom as a patient, what he's doing is he's looking to see where you're missing some components, where you're out of balance, how to get you back on track. And because your body will do as it's supposed to do if you give it the right things.
If your body's not doing what it's supposed to do, is because something's in there that's stopping it from doing its job, and it's lacking something that it needs in order to do the job.
Yeah. So just a little background for Lourdes and I. Something that we always tell people is that we come from families with cancer. I mean, my grandmother had cancer. She died of it. My two of my aunts died of cancer. I had an uncle who had cancer.
And I like to say, just because we're so used to, that's why people fear cancer.
Right. No, but I was getting to a point.
Yeah.
And so Lourdes had a lot of cancer people in her family as well. It's all rubbish. It's all rubbish for me to say that I'm predetermined to have cancer because it came in my family. It comes down to, they all ate the same. They all had the same habits. They all believed the same things. They all thought,
Well, they live the same lifestyle.
They sure did.
And we're not talking they married the same guy, or their eating habits, what they grew up with. And so, and a lot of people now, especially now, they eat a lot of processed foods and colors and artificial flavor, and none of that is good for your health.
It's gotten real easy for people to go fast and easy when it comes to their food.
So that's the way quickly to turn on or off a gene. You can turn on a good gene by giving it the right good stuff, or you can turn on a bad gene because you're giving it the bad stuff. And that bad gene needs that horrible thing. It needs that artificial color or flavor or, metals or whatever they're putting in our system to turn that on. But if those things aren't on, it can't turn it on. It just turns it off. Right.
And that's one of our strongest messages, is that you're not predetermined to have anything. You're not predetermined to be whatever. I mean, it's completely in your hands, and that's option C. And that's probably the closest way to discuss option C that I can get to. So one thing that we're going to be doing when we have this conversation live is we're going to be using our real life examples of how we approached option C to take care of certain things, to kind of point at what medical tyranny said to do and what we did instead. And so when we're going to come back from break. And then when we come back from break, we'll start with the first of these stories, which is actually Lourdes' story.
Yeah.
Okay. Super Earth Energy.
Super Earth Energy.
For nearly 2 decades, Dr. Newsom was developing this formula.
This one.
2 decades of his life, nearly 2 decades.
I mean, that's really make dedication to giving you the best quality of a supplement that's going to give you not only energy, I mean, it improves adrenal and, you know.
Well, so it improves your adrenal and muscle fatigue.
Yep.
It actually helps with chronic fatigue syndrome, a compromised immune system, sleep deficit, brain fog.
Which many are experiencing a low sexual desire. I mean, this 2 decades, there's a reason. He put a great formula together. He formulated, and it's just amazing. Like, we love it.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's like we were just telling our daughter the other day. It's not like it gives you like a caffeine jittery feeling. It's more like you're just awake.
Yeah, like, you know, when you were a kid and you,
Right.
you didn't feel, kids they seem to not get tired. So it's kind of that. You don't go, oh, I feel like all this caffeine. It's none of that, because I personally can't do caffeine. It really, it causes me nausea, migraines. I just can't do caffeine. But I take this and I just don't feel tired. Like, I can spend a whole day really getting a lot of things done and not feel exhausted, or I have to take a nap, or I still do my meditation stuff, but oh my gosh, amazing.
It's because it's giving you energy at a cellular level. Now, all you have to do to get this product is go to www.drnewsom.com and look for Super Earth Energy. We've got that. We got it ourselves, but we should do a little, like, still show them what that bottle looks like. And there it is, Super Earth Energy. That's right. Go to drnewsom.com.
Yes. drnewsom.com. In fact, right here we see the link.
Oh, see, now I got to put it there. I was going to put it there now, but now it's got to be there.
Or he can still put it here, but definitely here.
It's going to be 2 places now.
Super Earth Energy. Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're back. I mean, I'm just as surprised as you are.
Oh my goodness, what
just happened? Yeah, we're back. And I tell you, the Super Earth Energy. Yeah, I love Super Earth Energy.
Love Super Earth Energy.
And
you really do get the energy.
You do. And the thing is that you feel it, and I know it sounds, you feel it on a cellular level, which you're supposed to, because it's the.
Well, you don't get jitters. You don't have that whole caffeine thing. You're just not tired, and you feel like you have the energy to do things.
Yeah, it's
which is how it should be.
It's one of those products that we recommend to everybody, is the Super Earth Energy, because you don't want to feel tired. You don't want to feel bogged down. You don't want this fog to be around your life. And Super Earth Energy helps you through all that. You don't have chronic fatigue anymore. You can actually have a normal life, which is, kind of desirable. I'm just here to say food. And
I agree. And this is the thing with Super Earth Energy, you actually enjoy it because it's all natural. It's no toxins of whatsoever. Your body actually recognizes it, and it goes in and it's doing its job, so that instead of going, I'm too tired to go do this thing, you actually end up looking for things to do because you have the energy.
If you think about the brilliance of the product, what it comes down to is, at a cellular level, it's assisting the mitochondria, which is the power plant of your cellular structure. And the cellular structures is the building block for all of your organs in your body, and all of your organs in your body make up the entire system of your body, and your body just wants to be that energetic. So anyway, yeah, I can't, I'm just saying, it just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So before we saw about Super Earth Energy, we were talking about Lourdes' story and how that was kind of our first, we'll call it our first option C opportunity.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting if we think about it. Before I ever got ill, I should say with cancer, I used to always, like, if somebody had a cold, I'd get sick. My immune system was just like, I never paid attention. It became just like, because we're told that people just get sick, you just get a cold, you get the flu. It became, you couldn't prevent it. And so we were, and that's part of medical tyranny, because they're telling you something that's not the, you should always have different views.
So to your point, though, one big component of medical tyranny is
convincing you to have control. Yeah, you have no control to prevent something.
Yeah, it's a propaganda machine, and they're brilliant, and they're geniuses at this propaganda machine. But we're going to show some footage of when Lourdes was sick, and this is when we discovered option C. And it's like, I know it's like saying when Columbus discovered America. Well, it was always there. But we just named it option C because of the reasons, like we said. We realized there was 3 different ways for people to approach it. And medical tyranny told my wife, excitedly, by the way, like yippee skippy, we're going to do chemotherapy and radiation, and we're going to cut out those nodes, and that was medical tyranny at work, because it was disguised as the most effective way to treat this.
Well, and not telling me if there's any other way.
Okay, so yeah, and that comes down to informed consent, which is another aspect of medical tyranny.
And even if they say, well, we can't do those things. I mean, we're only allowed to do these things, but you could look up, because it is your life, it is your health. Look up other things, because I've heard of people do, because of course they've heard. Who hasn't heard of somebody doing other things that help them, beat cancer?
I'm hard pressed to believe that there are oncologists out there that don't know that people have healed themselves naturally from cancer.
They usually just call it a miracle.
Sure. It would bottle my brain if that
well
was
even so. This as far as when it comes to cancer, we know someone who had cancer who had passed away. That's how I want to place it. Someone who had cancer who passed away. Now, for me, my personal opinion, they didn't die from the actual cancer.
Right.
I think is that when your body is so depleted and it's begging for you to do something to build that immune system in hopes, to not even hopes, to help heal, take that cell and turn it around, or get rid of the toxin that's created it in the first place. No toxins are removed, nothing is being done, and we're just pumping more toxins in there. And then when the person dies from the overload of toxins and damage to the immune system, right, from all the treatments they got, we say they died of cancer. So instead of the person being terrified of the treatments that damage the body, the liver, the immune system, the cells that strengthen the cancer stem cell, we get fearful of the cancer instead of the actual treatment that caused all those other complications.
We've said it before, and it's worth looking up if you haven't already, but the grandfather of chemotherapy is mustard gas. It was a poison that they used in the Great World War, before it was literally banned and outlawed for the rest of the world. And the chemical makers were like, what do we do with this? And then they tried to fight cancer with it, and that's the inception of chemotherapy.
So, and that's the thing is, when we get that, we have to look at our lives. And some people say, oh, this person got it and they always ate healthy. Well, was it organic? Were there sprays and metals in there? Did they have certain shots and stuff that went into their system? And, years later, they end up with, for some people, months later, but, years later, you don't calculate that it was that kind of caused the spiral issue. So there are other things that.
It's environment as well.
That's what I'm saying.
And
there's many reasons.
Exactly right. So and by the way, the healthy eating, that's subject to
interpretation. Which I would say,
subject to interpretation as well. But really, what it comes down to is we're in an environment now where, look at the poor men and women that worked in the shipyards when they were working with asbestos, and it was just about like, oh, this is the best way to sleep.
How many people lived in homes that the paint had asbestos?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
or lead.
There. So
things
many
that
things.
We know are causing poison to your body. This was commonplace, and so you can say, well, they ate fresh every day and they ate the best diets and all the other stuff.
Well, not just that. Your skin is the largest organ on your body. And what we put on our skin absorbs into our body, right? So are we destroying the protection of our body? When we put something on, are we looking at the chemicals on it? When those chemicals go in, and people can go, oh, it can't go into your skin. Well, why do we put a patch for people that want to stop smoking?
Right.
It's just on your skin. Why do we do those things? Why can we do those things and be affected by it? Because what we put on our skin, on, in, or around our body, does affect our health.
Right.
So we're putting some kind of chemical on our skin, and it's not like just like I like to use coconut oil. There's nothing to it. It's just coconut oil. It's organic and nothing messed with. But for those that want to put other things, are you making sure, and you're looking in the back, is it 100% organic? Is it all natural? And I don't mean it just has the word organic, but that literally it is, and that there is no toxins in there. If you're not, there's a chance that if you're using all these other things, you're going to put the stuff in your system that can cause not just cancers, all sorts of other health issues.
Okay. That's true.
Okay.
I'm just saying you kind of went.
I know, I always do. I can't help it.
You went kind of nutty there.
I know, I got to try to cut down on that. Anyway, I'm just saying that what we put in and on around our bodies does affect us.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. So, and then, there are times where I'm just like, all right, go get them, babe. Go tell them what's what.
And it's so funny because I'm trying to always cut down and trim what I say, and still.
we were talking about Lourdes had cancer, and that was our first introduction to option C. And so obviously option A also in parentheses medical tyranny said that she needed to do chemotherapy and radiation. Lourdes found her own path, which is option C, finding your own path and what's the best way to go. And as you can see, she's obviously healthy and thriving and amazing and gorgeous, you know, just really just kicking butt and taking names. I mean, look at her now, a dynamo. Having said that, it's because she chose option C, which is the antithesis of medical tyranny. And that's
and just finding what you have to do to fix things.
What it comes down to. Yeah, what it comes down to is taking responsibility for it. Lourdes knows how she got cancer. I mean, she knows why she got cancer. She studied her diet, and it's pretty clear what happened, you know.
So should we just show the clip?
Sure.
Let's show the clip.
So, since I'm in the predicament I'm in now, which is the last stage, I'm actually being able to finally go to the place I've been trying to go from the very beginning. But at least I'm going now.
So as I said before, it's amazing, and obviously, you know, Lourdes and I both, you know, thank Heavenly Father and our God for His part in all this, because it clearly was there. It's just that Lourdes
definitely guided.
Yeah, definitely guided you to the right. I mean, on a personal level, I was against Lourdes doing this natural thing, and you know, eventually I had to come around to Team Lourdes. So when we come right back, we're going to talk about the second brush with option C that we dealt with and what that looked like for us. And it happened to be someone really close to us. It happened to be our daughter. So, and again, it's just these stories, you know,
But it just goes to show that there is another way. Yes.
So we'll be right back. Super Digest.
Super Digest, one of the most, well, I should say, one of the strongest digestive formulas on the market.
That's, yeah. And again,
Strongest.
This makes sense, right? Dr. Newsom, but now you guys are seeing a theme, right? Dr. Newsom just does the best because that's what he does.
And when it comes to your digestive system, because that's where you get the most of, you know, nutrition, you definitely want it to be amazing.
The top notch.
Yep. And this is like 10 types of active digestive enzymes to enhance your digestion of
proteins, fats, and carbs, as well as pineapple proteolytic enzyme and papaya proteolytic enzyme. Proteolytic. It sounds like an era of dinosaurs, doesn't it?
Yeah, proteolytic.
This dinosaur was found in the proteolytic era.
I just like saying proteolytic.
Yeah, that's actually our new word now. We're just going around saying proteolytic.
And it's got pineapple proteolytic.
We never had to learn proteolytic until we met Dr. Newsom, and now we understand what proteolytic is. It's an enzyme that actually helps you break down protein.
And by the way, and carbs, and you know, you need the enzymes to break down the proteins and carbs and the stuff that you need, because that's how you get your nutrition.
Right, and so this one has like 10, right?
Yes.
10 of types of active digestive enzymes.
Active, there's the key.
Yeah, they're not sleepy. They're not sleepy enzymes.
No.
They're not just like, well, okay. No, they're active. They're running around.
10 types of active digestive enzymes.
So you want to go to www.drnewsom.com, look for Super Digest that my lovely model wife assistant is holding.
And by the way, the products we share, it's because we take them.
We're using them.
Because we love what it does for our bodies. It's really good. So you guys definitely, oh my gosh, like it.
Yeah. Digestion is crucial to your health, and that's why Dr. Newsom has created this Super Digest.
If you have issues with your digestive system, you're going to want Super Digest.
That's right.
Yep. Super Digest.
We're back.
We're back. And Super Digest, wow.
No, you know what? I absolutely love Super Digest because it's got all those active enzymes. And you know, if you go to the Lourdes and Chris show, you can actually see the past episodes where we had Dr. Newsom on, when he's talking about the importance of enzymes.
Very important.
How crucial enzymes are.
I mean, to your health, to be alive, you need enzymes.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, Super Digest is one of our favorite products. We take it with our meals because that's what he says to do, because it helps you break down that stuff. The enzymes are working overtime. They're active enzymes. It's got the proteolytic enzymes.
Is it 10?
10 active
enzymes, and it's proteolytic.
proteolytic enzymes.
We love the proteolytic enzymes.
And we love that we can say it right now. So
I used to say proteolytic.
yeah, I'm not sure where that came from, but proteolytic. Yeah, that's it's funny because even Dr. Newsom on the show is like, yeah, proteolytic. We're like, proteolytic.
And then he got proteolytic, and we're like proteolytic, and he's like proteolytic, and I'm like proteolytic, and he was like, he just stopped.
He's just like, never mind.
They're not
getting it. So proteolytic. We know what that is. It breaks down protein, and so that's the reason why we love Super Digest, is because it's got all those active enzymes, and it helps your gut help you. So
well, and you need the enzyme to break things down to be able to absorb the nutrients. So it just plays a really important part in your health.
and we're lacking enzymes.
Yes, most of the things that happen and we eat or whatever may destroy the very
Well,
thing that you
like
eat.
Dr. Newsom said, if you pay attention to where the enzyme sources were, they're extremely depleted. So even if you're eating a ton of fruit every day, which is where a lot of the enzymes are, and papaya and all that stuff, it's really depleted. So
Well, because they're spraying it, it gets into the soil.
the soil itself is depleted.
Yeah, so a lot of the minerals that the roots would absorb into it just doesn't happen. I mean, it's very little. It's like they said, an apple a day keeps a doctor away. It used to be the case.
Yeah.
But now 1 apple a day doesn't do squat.
Did you say 150?
No, 27 apples to 1.
150 years ago is what I'm thinking of. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. 150 years ago, and 1 apple
Was equivalent.
today is equivalent to 20. Like if we had an apple today, we'd have to eat 27 apples
To get
to have the
nutrients.
same nutrients it had 150 years ago.
Yeah, so that's why we love Super Digest, because it's really kind of, I don't want to eat 27 apples today.
That'd be a lot.
Yeah, so Super Digest helps
Yeah.
us out with that. And then we were talking about coming back and talking about our second big option,
Yes.
the opportunity.
Which is our daughter.
If you look at episode 2, it's been a bit.
It's been a bit.
We had our daughter on the show.
If you go to the Lourdes and Chris show.com, you'll
Mhm.
see all the prior episodes there. And it's the one with our daughter
That's right.
who had brain damage.
That's right. And so, I mean, obviously, we're going to show a clip right now of her, when she was in the hospital.
Yep.
And so, option A, or in parentheses, let's say medical tyranny, they basically told Lourdes and I, get her affairs in order. We'll keep her alive and comfortable long enough for you to come out so that we can turn off the machines. That was the option that was given to
Well,
us.
and it was given to us because with their training and what they're told, when someone's like they said, look, you have your gray matter and your white matter, and all her white matter was gone,
right.
right? And he broke it down to
They
it
showed
kind
it
of
to us.
helped. Yeah, it's and they showed it. They showed us their findings and stuff. But their thing is, that's what tells your body to kind of like move your arm, eat, chew, swallow, those kind of things. So in other words, for these doctors, they felt because that was gone, fried, that the only thing that we could do best for her was just turn off the machines, because even like you said, even if out of a miracle she woke up, she'd wake up in a vegetative state, and her organs would still just shut down and die anyway, and that would put the family and everybody else in just this horrific situation. And just to avoid all that, again, that was their training. That was what they were shown. If this happens, there's no hope. And I get it. They're according to medications that they give, they couldn't fix that.
Right. And so what Lourdes did was she turned to God, which is a big part of option C. I've never really done a big religious conversation, but whatever your religion is, whatever your faith is an important aspect of option C.
Yeah.
And so Lourdes did some praying.
Did a lot of praying. I was very clear, like he showed me everything I needed to do to turn things around in my life, and made it very clear that as long as you are alive and breathing, everything is fixable.
Right.
So I was like, well, then what can I do to save my daughter? I prayed and cried and got it. And it was just like, get on the internet and, and so that's what I did. I shared with many people. I got a lot of information. Ken, our dear friend, Ken Burden, reached out and shared a video and what they did for someone was in the same situation and what they did. And I was like, that's it. That's what we're going to do. So we called the doctor and said, we're not turning off the machines. This is what I want to do. I want to give her 20 grams of fish oil in her feeding tube.
I was hoping you would say it. I'm like, she's actually not saying what she did.
Yeah. So it was
reeling
10
it along.
grams of fish oil twice a day. So a total of 20 grams through her feeding tube.
That's right.
And in the beginning, there was like, that's a lot, cause bleeding.
So this is medical tyranny pushing back. And I got to be honest, these doctors, I got the impression from a couple of them, they really thought they were doing what was best. They really thought they were helping by offering, to let her go. until Lourdes presented a different option, and really got kind of ugly.
Yeah. Well, the first doctor who he was amazing. He was trying to work with me. He understood what I was trying to go, what we were going through as a family. And so he said, well, 3 grams is a lot.
Mhm.
I said, no, 20 grams. And then he's like, okay, well, you have to bring it in. He told me what I needed to do.
Yep.
They'll take it to the pharmacy in the hospital. They'll put a prescription thing on there.
They did, yeah.
And he said, all right. Now he was good, but
Mhm.
the rest of the doctors there fought me tooth and nail. I mean, it was just like they did not like that I was trying something different.
And we talked about the training of doctors and how a lot of what doctors do is because they were trained in a specific
Yeah.
way. It's like,
And they believed what they were taught.
absolutely, a kung fu
Yeah.
master has been training in kung fu his entire life, but and he could probably take a boxer, but that boxer has also been trained. So there's other disciplines, is what I'm saying. And these doctors that have been trained in a specific discipline basically say that pharmaceuticals are the way to go for literally every problem that you might have.
Yeah.
And-
Which is why sometimes when they can't find a fix,
Mhm.
for them, well, there's no way to fix that. But they're correct. There's no way to fix it with what they have.
Right. Their
Doesn't
tools.
mean that there's no way to fix it in general.
That's right, with their tools. And medical tyranny also, we discovered down the road, prevents some doctors who are even shown the truth on something, prevents them from being able to,
Or just in general, just to well, first of all, they'll lose their license, even if
That's where-
even if they went along and said, oh, I would like to try that. They're risking their own license because they're taught you can only do these things. You
Right.
are not allowed to do anything outside of this. If you do anything natural and it's not conventional for them, it's
So the thing of it is that even for the disciples of the medical tyranny, they're kind of slaves to the machine. I mean, they have to do it a certain way, and so to that level, I do feel for them. But then you have other doctors like Dr. Newsom, who,
he's like, he figured out, well, I don't want to give something
or our
that
other
came
friend,
outside
Dr.
of
Robert
that.
Scott Bell, who
He's an extraordinary guy too.
yeah, I'm just saying we've met all these doctors who figured it out. So you go, okay, there's a way.
There is a way. And that's what I mean. There's so many doctors out there that chose not to go through something that is synthetic.
Mhm.
Our bodies have no business having synthetic in there.
That's right.
Chemicals that actually react poorly in our bodies, which is why they go, yeah, it can cause these side effects, but you need this.
Mhm.
It's like, well, can I just do something that'll fix that without giving me those other problems that you then now have to give me a pill for that?
Mhm.
And then it just goes on. And never mind how many people have all these different types of medications that they've never even tested to see what it would do if they were combined.
Well, that's
And yet they do that.
that's part of our third conversation. Our third opportunity.
Yes.
So the good news is with our daughter Christina, is she's obviously alive and well. She's had we have a new grandson
Have an agreement. Yep.
that
Well,
was
in
delivered
fact,
at home.
In fact, because of medical tyranny, because of what's been going on, especially from 2020 on up, I saw too many things going on in hospitals with, women that were giving birth there. And if they tested one way or the other, they would take their kid away.
That's right.
So I'm like, well, that's not going to happen with my grandchild.
Plus, we know of a few examples where shots were administered without consulting the parents.
Yep. So we're like, nope, that baby's going to be fresh and clean and nothing's going to be injected in him or my daughter. They're going to be natural and healthy, period. And so I picked up a book and I looked at many deliveries and delivered my grandson.
That's right.
At home.
And so-
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, he's got good lungs, baby. Good lungs. Yeah.
So option C obviously was the right choice for us when it came to our daughter. It's just another example of our Heavenly Father kind of prepping us to go a certain direction, and so that's why we have another story because of what happened with our daughter, and that's why
That's right.
So she's alive and thriving and kicking, and we couldn't be more happier. So
Yes, as you can see, and
Yep.
we should be going into break.
oh, okay. So we're gonna go take another break, and then when we get back, we'll talk about our third option C opportunity that we're kind of currently in the middle of.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back. Dr. Newsom's Inflamagon.
It's powerful anti-inflammatory botanical formula.
So this bad boy's got curcumin, and he gets that curcumin from organic turmeric root.
Yes, which is important. We want organic. And freeze-dried frankincense oil.
Freeze-dried frankincense oil is boswellic acid, actually. Boswellic acid.
I love these words.
I know. Our vocabulary has been so expanded since we started working with Dr. Newsom.
Yes.
And that's boswellic acid is important because it's one of the things that help you. It actually helps with inflammation, but it also is an inhibitor for tumors.
Yeah.
So
so why not prevent or get rid of if you have one of those things or you don't know you have it yet?
Yeah, right. And why just jump ahead of it? Because this formula is bound to Dr. Newsom's unique fulvic acid and humic acid.
Which, by the way, those 2 minerals that you really do need if you want to stay healthy. And it gives maximum absorption and anti-inflammatory action.
You're likely dealing with inflammation.
Yes, because most people don't realize that if you end up with certain pains and aches, that's inflammation. Inflammation causes aches and pains to let you know there's an issue.
And prolonged inflammation is really what causes these chronic illnesses, up to and including cancer. So
we take this as well, and it's amazing. In fact, real quick tidbit, even as a thin person, I always had this little pouch, but since I've been taking this, I'm like, I must have had inflammation because that little pouch is gone.
Goodbye pouch, no more punch. So you want to go to www.drnewsom.com, get that anti-inflammatory formula of his in Inflamagon. I love the name Inflamagon.
Like it's gone.
Inflamagon.
Inflam is gone.
We love it.
We do.
I'll let that one slide. We love it. We know that you love it too because look, inflammation is something that you really want to work out of your system right now.
Yeah, like if you want to avoid health issues, when you have too much inflammation just creates, and especially if it's consistently going on,
right.
It causes diseases, it causes illnesses. Who wants to be sick?
And you can trust Inflamagon because it comes from Dr. Newsom, and
we trust it,
and we love it.
And we take this sucker daily.
Love it.
We like to prevent. We're back.
Just waiting for it. I was thinking you were going to run with it because I went with it last time. We are back. And I tell you, Dr. Newsom's Inflamagon, we mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but we absolutely love it. I had inflammation issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because we have triggers. I mean, just across the street, we have like the 5G, and people can go, oh, it doesn't affect you. But we kind of listen to our body.
Yeah.
And so when we've been here for several years and not have any issues, and then they put this up and then we start having issues, we're not going, oh, it just happened. No. So it's really important when it comes to obviously to pay attention. What was introduced in your environment, in your home, in your body, or whatever, that now you have this issue. And we figured out real quickly that.
Yeah, Dr. Newsom's Inflamagon has got the freeze-dried frankincense.
Yep.
Which
is
the curcumin inside of there. Yes. It's got from the organic turmeric.
Yep, everything organic.
It's linked to his fulvic acid formula that he created.
Yep. And by the way, fulvic is very crucial when it comes to your health. I mean, people don't really realize how important it is to have that in your system.
You know what makes it amazing too is that and I reached out to him because one of you viewers actually reached out to me and asked if they should be doing black pepper with this. And he said, no. He's designed his Inflamagon to be readily absorbed easily into your bloodstream. So you don't have to do the whole pepper thing, which I learned. The reason why that works is because it creates these holes large enough for these things to get in. I'm like, ooh, no, I'm glad Dr. Newsom is on board with this and taking care of it properly.
Yeah.
That is right.
Yeah, you want to do it the right way.
Yeah.
We get so wrapped in trying, because there wasn't another way.
Yeah.
No one made it that way, but he did. So when you're getting this stuff in, it's going in the way it should go in without causing any issues.
Yeah. So we absolutely love Inflamagon, and we a lot of our friends have said the same thing, and it helps keep the pain away and makes us continue onward.
Well, because you think about it, inflammation causes pain.
Right.
And even when you don't see it, it doesn't mean that the inflammation isn't happening inside. It is.
Right.
If you're having pain, you have inflammation.
That's right.
Yeah.
And in gut health too, we learned like bloating and all that stuff is also a form of inflammation.
Yeah.
Anyways, I digress. I digress. So
we have so much information.
We're currently with an option C opportunity with Lourdes' mom. If you watched the last episode, you heard a little bit about it. But here's the thing: medical tyranny, or option A, said that nothing can be done. She's too far gone.
Well, not just that. One of the things
she'll never get better.
Yeah, is that because she did, and we'll eventually get into her story in another episode because there's just much to say. But she did receive an injury when she was really young. And from that head injury, it caused what they said in this, I'm not going to even mention the hospital, but anyway, it's a very well-known, everybody trusts and loves this hospital. It's in, I think, Minnesota. Doesn't matter.
It's a big hospital.
It's a huge hospital. Everybody calls it, and stop being a male. Anyway, so,
Stop being
oh, no, you are a male, in those clinics and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm very, yeah, and because the clinic would say that, yeah, you're a male. Okay, so, and you flip that around, then you got the right name. So that being said, they told her there was no way to fix that eventually, because of the nerve that was, from injury, that it would just dry up and whatever. And long story short, she would end up having memory issues. And as she gets older, it would just get worse.
So the medical tyranny part of this is that you take that advice and you go, oh no.
There's nothing I can do.
You believe it.
And you believe you can't do anything about it. So then you don't do anything about it.
Right.
And then the very thing they said that would happen happens because you never did anything to fix that problem.
And it, as we said in the last episode, it got much worse with all the different prescriptions, with the common side effect of affecting the brain and brain disorders, and memory loss, and
the memory loss, cognitive issues. I mean, I'm going, well,
mood swings.
Mood swings, insomnia, so much. I'm going, well, why would we give them all these different prescriptions and every last one of them are causing the thing that's making it worse that they said she had?
The irony of that too, and I told Lourdes this too when we learned more about it, was back to Lourdes' story, the chemotherapy and radiation also causes cancer. So it's just kind of funny.
Yeah, it's funny how the thing that, somehow when they create something, they don't go, let's get something natural. And so we don't patent it. So what? It's natural. The whole purpose is to get people healthy, right? So let's stop trying to be, I got to patent it. And if we don't, we can't make money. How about the whole purpose is to heal the person, because the body heals. No, you can't say I cured you or that cured, but you can say that the body heals because the body does heal. I cut and it's going to heal.
No.
So if you're giving it the right thing, right, it's going to do it.
And you did give her some of Dr. Newsom's products to help with her digestion, the Super Digest,
yes,
and the Inflammagon, obviously for her joints and stuff. But we've also given her the Root brands.
And we also gave from Dr. Newsom is brain health.
Well, that's right. He does have brain health, which we
have. And she takes faithfully. And so we did the Root brands. And as you can see in the link right there, the rootbrands.com/create option C.
In conjunction,
because I got clear that there are others, this is going to do this stuff. They've done studies that actually has shown 100% reversal on all these things: dementia, Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, autism, all that, right? Because they gave them these products and they faithfully watched as they got better. And then they had, of course, episodes where they get really bad and then they're fine. But I was clear that because of Dr. Newsom's products, she also needed those things because what he was giving her was going to be something that was going to work with her brain health.
That's right.
So I thought, I'm going to give her as much as I can to speed this up. I don't want to wait, 6 months later, now 9 months later and a year later, or I can just get it quickly done. And so the brain health, Super Digest, which by the way, she loves.
Yes.
And we gave her the inflammatory, pretty much everything.
Yeah.
We love giving her.
Yeah.
But it did help because it was like the first.
Well, especially the physical part of it. I mean, when even in the short time that Lourdes' mom has been with us, which has been a short time.
It's been a week.
I have noticed an improvement of the spring in her step. She's a lot more mobile. She's a lot more, and never mind that when you first got to your mom out in Wisconsin, she was basically immobile. She was stuck in bed.
Yeah, she was. It took a lot for her to walk, to sit down, to get up.
Her sciatic was bothering her.
It was constantly, no matter what she was taking, it just kept, it wasn't really helping. And so I was just like, well, I want to give her something that for her pain, but that it's not synthetic, that it's not toxic.
That's right.
So we gave her from, again, I make nothing from this, but the People's Chemist. I went and got the Relief FX. because it's natural. And I know for myself, it worked.
Yep.
So I started giving her that. I took out that Tylenol, I put all that crap. I'm like, nothing that's going to overtax her liver, that's going to cause more toxins
And her kidneys.
or her kidneys or any of that.
Well,
It was
I
important that
think-
we had to keep her healthy and
well,
cleansed.
and I think one of the most important decisions that you made when it came to this option C opportunity that we have was that you decided absolutely no more toxins whatsoever.
That whole, oh, but you got to wean her off these because she's been on them for so long, and and she can end up having a bad reaction and da, da, da. I was very clear that the reason why that happens to people is because, first of all, the stuff is still in their tissue and their cells. They didn't remove any of it. They didn't do anything that when they do remove it, how to replace it.
Mhm.
So if you don't take it out while at the exact same time replace it with the nutrient or mineral that the body actually needs, well, now there's a space and it can cause issues. So Root Brands was perfect.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so clean slate literally is going to go do exactly that. It's going to be a clean slate, and it's a vitamin C, but it's not just a vitamin C. It has, zeolite, but like the best that you can get.
Mhm.
There's these minerals and stuff that's in it. So what it did is that as it removed, at the very moment of removal, it instantly was getting in the trace minerals and stuff that the body that those cells and tissues needed to
Mhm.
run the body.
Mhm.
So it makes it hard for you to have some bad reaction if it's got something good.
Right.
Like the cell needs it, you gave it to it, why would it react bad?
Right.
So like you said, the very day I arrived, so I arrived on August 18th. By then she's already had gotten all her prescription drugs. And then I was like, the next day, none. I was like, she's not taking any one of them.
And you
Period.
introduced the juice, which is obviously high
Yes.
nutrition. And if you remember from our episode with the fabulous Sherry Calbaum, the juice lady.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's the
Gotta
fastest
follow
way
her.
for your body to get as much nutrients as possible. Yeah, if you haven't followed Sherry Calbaum, you need to look her up.
Yes.
She's phenomenal.
She's extraordinary.
She's a dynamo.
She's awesome.
Yeah, we love her. So and again, goes back to one thing about this journey for us. Our mission is what we know it to be. Is we've met all these amazing people because we're in sync with what the mission was.
That's right.
That's right.
And so you meet these people. So we did that. We went ahead. I took all that stuff away. I gave her clean slate. And not just clean slate. It was one after another. So I would say how I did it was I did clean slate, 10 drops under the tongue. Right after that, I gave her 2 0-ins.
Mhm.
Right after 2 0-ins, I gave her 2 restores.
That's right.
And because she doesn't like drinking out of the packets, I just put the 2 packets in a cup. She took that.
Yep, like a juice.
And that's what I did every day. And then with the Relief Greens, which again is nutrition for the body, I just kind of enhanced it by taking the Relief Greens and putting in a teaspoon of it actually into the green juice that I made. All organic, all freshly made at home, not a blender, a juicer. And I did a masticating juicer because like Sherry had said, the juice lady, you don't want the metal blades because that kind of kills some of the enzymes.
Right.
So, which is why I did that. And I did celery, cucumber, green apple, green grapes. And then I added that into it. And I got to tell you, doing that, she started feeling better on the same day because none of the bad stuff was in her system because I gave her none of that.
Yeah. And if you refer back to our trip to Mexico episode that Lourdes and I did some time ago now, but if you go to lourdesandchrisshow.com, it is there. One of the first things that they did when she got down there to treat her cancer in Mexico was to give her paranutrition, which is nutrition at a high level. When your body is starved for the nutrition, it absorbs it quickly, and you see rapid changes in a positive way.
Because a lot of people say, "Well, I did the stuff and I didn't feel that thing." A lot of times is because they didn't remove or stop the thing that was causing it in the first place.
Yeah, you can't take a vitamin C and then go eat a candy bar.
Yeah. You can't have something that's got artificial colors and flavors on top of it that's breaking down your cells.
Let's say Skittles.
Yeah.
No, not Skittles.
Yeah. And I also gave my mother the mitochondria defense shield because that builds the mitochondria in your, that's your powerhouse. So that builds up all the stuff that's going on in the body. So she was getting all these good things in there.
Sure.
So that's the thing is when you remove, people will try things, but when you're putting these things in your system, you have to also be eating healthy. You also, like for me, I'm going, why am I going to take that pill that has these side effects that tells me it's synthetic and has nothing going to cure anything. So if I'm taking something that's going to heal it, then I take something that breaks it down. Well, I just put something in and I gave something. That's why some people, it takes them a long time to heal. I think for me, it's helped quickly because I just get rid of the stuff and I
Well,
put the right thing in.
Those pills that you're talking about, those synthetic ones, are also petroleum based. So if you go to the gas station and fill up your gas tank with the ridiculously priced gas that's happening right now, you'll realize that same thing and the pill
Have
have the same source.
Yep, exactly. And so, this is how I feel. If you want to get better, you can't keep doing the same thing, expecting something different. That's nuts.
Yeah, there's just common sense.
So you gotta change it.
So that was our we're calling it the option C opportunities, and you have them in your life right now.
Yep.
Option C opportunities, where something's going on, you have an opportunity to look at this the right way, to get away from medical tyranny, to back yourself out of it, and look at the option C opportunity that you have in front of you,
Yep.
and see it as an opportunity to get yourself back on track. So we again, once more, we do want to thank drnewsom.com and Dr. Newsom himself, and
It's extraordinary.
he's extraordinary. And please go to drnewsom.com. Check him out. Check out his products, and
Sign up and subscribe.
That's right. Sign up and subscribe, because he gives a lot of information that you're just like, kazam, that's amazing information.
And recipes. He
yep.
sends recipes. You just got to check out his site because he really has a lot of things that I think personally myself, everyone should be there. Everyone should subscribe and everyone should be on his stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and if you use promo code Lourdes and Chris at checkout, you do get 15% off. So that's, that right there is incentive for you to try something if you haven't already. But those of you that have tried it and love it, get your 15% off. Yeah, that's worthwhile.
It's definitely, we love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then again, we do want to thank the subscribers of the Lourdes and Chris show, and those of you that have donated and are recurring donators. We absolutely love you. You're keeping the lights on, quite literally keeping the lights on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And again, if you guys want to know what I used or where to get the products that I got for my mom, to get things out and in and start healing, that is, you go to because you already know about Dr. Newsom, but specifically therootbrands.com/create option C, because you do need a referral code to do it, which is create option C.
Sure.
And when you sign up for free, you just go and you purchase those products. They're extraordinary. We use it daily, by the way,
Yep.
and we will continue to use it forever.
Because it's not our way to try something, and if it's not working, say we'll stick with it. There have been many products that have gone by the wayside for us, where we're like, someone's like, it's amazing, you got to try it, and we do. We're like, didn't really feel it. We didn't even being on it for a minute, it didn't do anything. Yeah,
so
we're just honest with ourselves, and we're honest with people when it comes to these things, that these products that we talk about, we absolutely love them, and we currently use them because it does amazing things for us as well, and it will for you too.
Yes.
In fact, if you were to follow us on social media,
yes,
you might actually see us talking about some of these things.
Yeah, so just go to these places.
Follow us on social media. We're there. We say hello when you say hello back, and
yes, we do respond.
Yes.
And when you subscribe to when you go to our website, the LourisandChrisShow.com, when you subscribe, we will send emails periodically. Not a lot. We're not heavy into doing that.
We're trying not to be heavy-handed.
Yeah.
With the emails.
But when things come up,
Yep.
we do share.
Yep.
So, and then we obviously respond to any emails.
Yes, we do. So thank you so much for joining us again on the Lourdes and Chris show. We are here every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Look at me, I'm getting better at that Pacific. My old nemesis. So we'll see you again in about a week.
And
on the next episode of the Lourdes and Chris show, which will be 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We absolutely love you. Thank you for joining us. Have a blessed week.
Love you.